Kwantlen Polytechnic University takes its name from the Kwantlen First Nation, and we work, study, and live in a region south of the Fraser River, which overlaps with the unceded traditional and ancestral lands of the Kwantlen, Musqueam, Katsi, Semiahmoo, Tawasin, Kikate, Coquitlam, and Coast Salish peoples. We have 3 campuses in Surrey, one in Richmond and Langley. At KBU, we have a really diverse student base, and we have about 20,000 students. You really just need to be over the age of 19 and meet our English proficiency requirement in order to start attending KBU. I would say our claim to fame is definitely our small class sizes. Being an institution that has a maximum class size of 35 makes it really accessible for students to be able to access their instructors. And our second claim to fame would be that we're Canada's first polytechnic institution. So to us, polytechnic means hands-on and applied learning. So that was also something that was important for me when I chose to come to KBU, because I knew that that was also a way that I learned best, was learning material and then applying it in real life, everyday scenarios. Our transfer students are transferring from a lot of different places. They could be from local research-based institutions, local colleges as well, but we also have students from across Canada relocating to the Greater Vancouver area and are looking for a university with smaller class sizes and things like that. One of my favorite resources was the Future Students Office, which is where I work, so of course I have to say that. But when I was transferring over, the Future Students Office was really helpful in answering any questions that I had about the transfer process. Also, I found working with our academic advisors really helpful. Based on the transfer credit that I had received, kind of helped me decide what might be a great path for me to go down and other classes to take, and really just helped me kind of figure out and navigate that whole scene. Top transfer tips would be make sure that you are requesting transfer credit and applying early. At KBU, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to get a transfer credit assessment. And so you'll want to factor that into when you're wanting to transfer over, just so that you can make sure that the classes that you've already done transfer over to KBU and that you can continue your studies seamlessly. One of my favorite transfer pathways would be, there's one from Langara design formation that you can transfer over to KBU. And there's also one from NEC, that's land stewardship certificate. And that will transfer over to KBU as your block credits. In addition, there's classes that maybe you've taken at another institution that you can transfer over to KBU. So we do accept quite a bit of classes for transfer. If it's not on the BC Transfer Guide, doesn't mean that you can't get transfer credit for it. It just means that you might have to submit additional syllabus or course descriptions or things like that, so that KPU can award you some transfer credit. We have sustainable agriculture, traditional Chinese medicine acupuncture, mechatronics, and advanced manufacturing technology is a really cool program. We love to help, so you can always reach out to us. I would be more than happy to help anybody that wants to come to university or transfer. And we also would just love to be able to welcome you to KPU in person.